What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some gaming content in the near future, give this video a like. If you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Now, let's get into this video. Time for the 2019-2020 Dallas Cowboys team preview, man. Cowboys Nation, man. How y'all feeling, man? Y'all made it to the playoffs, of course, last year. Y'all went 10-6. Had a bounce back year from the year before. The year before was a pretty much a disappointing year. Zeke suspensions, Dak Prescott not having the same year. Offensive line struggled, but defense struggled. But last year, man, the last season that happened was a really good season for the Dallas Cowboys, man. Even won the game in the playoffs, beat my Seattle Seahawks in the wild card round. You know, that kind of hurt, but I mean, I gotta give y'all props, man. Y'all played well. Dak Prescott played well. But on to this upcoming season, man. And of course, we already got some drama when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and training camp. Of course, Zeke, he's holding out right now, but you know how we start things off. We're gonna speak about the offense and we're gonna speak about the quarterback, man. Speak about the quarterback. Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott, man, it's really no in-between when it comes to Dak Prescott. At least that's what I see from most football fans when it comes to Dak. You either really like him or you despise him, man. You despise him, man. And it's like you either think Dak Prescott is really good or you think he's a bum. There's really any in-between when it comes to Dak Prescott. For most people, when it comes to opinions. But I'm kind of indifferent, man. I think that Dak Prescott is actually a solid quarterback, and this is why I say he's a solid quarterback. I know he's not the most accurate quarterback, especially when he's throwing deep passes. We know that his deep accuracy is whatever. I know the run that Week 17 game against the Giants where he threw it on the run, like a 40-yard pass to Cole Beasley, rolling out the pocket, Aaron Rodgers style. That was great. But we know that Prescott game is not really throwing the ball deep. He's kind of inconsistent when it comes to the intermediate passes. But this is what you got to say about Dak Prescott. He gets things done, man. He gets things done, man. It's like I kind of trust Dak Prescott when it comes to the clutch. I mean, there's so many examples. Of course, that throw was in the clutch. Hell, against my Seahawks in the wild card game when he ran it in on that third down, that was clutch. That was clutch, right? I mean, he's like, yeah, he's not the most talented quarterback, but not the most accurate. But this guy just knows how to win ball games, man. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Isn't there a stat where in the past 3 seasons, Dak Prescott has the most wins? Or was he third? I think he was behind Tom Brady, I believe. But that's insane, man. You know, he's a winner, man. You gotta admit that. I know there's a lot of Dak Prescott haters out there, but you gotta admit, Dak Prescott's a winner. He's a winner, man. He really is, man. And I think Dak Prescott's going to come out and have a really good season. Personally, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to throw it a little bit more, especially with Kellen Moore as a new offensive coordinator. I expect Dak Prescott to throw it more, especially with the Zeke situation going on right now. Now, I'm about to speak about Zeke, but I do expect them to eventually get things done, give Zeke his deal, because let's keep it a buck. Without Zeke, this offense crumbles, all right? I know, like I said, I know a lot of people just feel, well, you could just get another running back in the free agency and bam, things will be back together. That's not how things work, man. When you have a talent like Ezekiel Elliott, possibly the best running back in the NFL, right? A person that's, you know, the past, since he came into the NFL, I mean, the past 3 seasons, he has the most rushing yards, I believe. So, I mean, you gotta resign Zeke, man. Jerry Jones, don't play this game where you try to win without Zeke to prove a point. Nah, Don't do that, man, because this is a win now team. But like I said, I think Dak Prescott, he's gonna come out. I think he's gonna have a pretty good season. Probably his best, stat seasons. I could see him throwing for 4,000 yards, cracking 25 touchdowns. Throwing for, maybe he can get less than 10 picks. I could see a 25 touchdown season, 10 picks, and 4,000 something yards. I could see that for Dak Prescott. But back to the running back situation, man. Look, you gotta re-sign Zeke Elliott, man. I'm pretty big on this team, man. I think this team can do a lot of things, especially I'm finna speak about the offensive line. Travis Frederick, he's of course coming back from what he dealt with the previous season. He's coming back fully healthy, mentally and everything. So they need Zeke, man. Like, there's really not I need to speak on when it comes to the running back position, man, because you don't have anything really behind him, man. I'm gonna be real. You don't have anything really behind Zeke, so you gotta re-sign him, man. Point blank, period. To the wide receiver position, I really like what they did, man. Now Cole Beasley, I know a lot of people, Cole Beasley, I think he's a solid wide receiver, right? Really good in the slot. He can be really good in the slot. But look, I think Randall Cobb just might be slightly better. No shade to Cole Beasley. Like I said, Cole Beasley is solid, but I like the pickup in Randall Cobb. He has experience when it comes to playoff. I believe he was on that 2011 Super Bowl team. Yeah, of course. He was definitely a part of that 2011 or 2010, excuse me, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl team, I believe. But Randall Cobb, he has experience, man. I know he's getting up there in age, but look, Randall Cobb is still going to be money in the slot. He might not be as elusive as he was when he was younger, but trust me, especially with Dak Prescott being known to throw the dink and dunks. He likes to dink and dunk. I know Skip Bayless, he called him Dak and dunk. Look, he's more of the conservative quarterback, more like Alex Smith. So expect Randall Cobb to have a huge season. But of course, you traded for Amari Cooper. I mean, who could forget about that? You traded for Amari Cooper last season. I mean, the wide receiver position was looking bleak, but they traded for Amari Cooper. That was a kind of a risky move. A lot of people felt 50-50 about it, but I mean, when he came in, solidified that number one receiver position. Because you gotta remember, man, going into last season, a lot of people felt that Dak Prescott was like, we don't need a number one receiver, because you got to remember, they got rid of Dez. So they're like, well, we don't need a number one receiver. We'll just spread the ball out. We saw that really didn't work like that. Couldn't get the results like they wanted. Brian Amari Cooper solidified the number one receiver position, and he's made a name to be one of the top receivers in the NFL. So he got him back for a full training camp, preparing in the Cowboys offense and this new Kellen Moore offense. Kellen Moore coming in as offense coordinator. It's going to be interesting how that plays out. Got Michael Gallup, showed a lot of promise last year. I think he's going to be a pretty good, solid outside receiver. Of course, right there on the left side of Amari Cooper. So the wide receiver position as a whole is actually really solid. It would have been great if they would have another receiver there as a fourth receiver, because of depth. The depth is kind of iffy. Well, you do got Tavon Austin for the deep threat. I could actually see Tavon Austin, having a really good season. I think we're going to see a lot of him, especially in this Kellen Moore offense. I expect Kellen Moore to run somewhat of how the Rams run their offense last year, a lot of spread out plays where they're going to have a lot of trick plays. Expect Tavon Austin to be seen in some jet sweep plays. For real. I could see that definitely. But like I said, the wide receiver position, in my opinion, for the Cowboys is actually really good. The tight end position, man, Jason Witten is coming out of retirement, man. He came out the booth. Of course, was a Monday night commentator last year. But he's back on the field, man. He's back on the field. And you know what Jason Witten is, right? we know what Jason Witten is, man. You know his game never really relied on athleticism. Of course, a lot of people make jokes about his speed. I mean, of course, Jason Witten is not the fastest tight end, not at all. But he just knows how to get open, man. He just knows how to get open. And another thing, it's going to help. It's going to help out the locker room, man. A veteran leader in the locker room. He's going to know how to get open. He's still strong. He's going to still be able to block. I really like him coming out of retirement. He's going to help out the Cowboys offense. You still got Blake Jarwin there, who can be that other tight end. And you still got Rico Gathers, who needs to be a little bit more consistent. Dalton Schultz, we'll see. So there's some good tight end depth, but I expect Jason Witten to come in and not be 2009, 2010 Jason Witten, but he'll be that reliable passing, catching tight end who's going to be able to block, has great awareness. We know what Jason Witten's all about. We know what he's all about. Now the offensive line, man. The offensive line. I'm really liking this offensive line, man. This is going to be the best Cowboys offensive line that we've probably seen since that 2016 year. Right? So you get Tyron Smith. He's going to be there. He's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. Strong as an ox. We know what Tyron Smith is all about. Left guard, you know, it's probably their biggest weakness on the offensive line. Though a lot of people weren't really feeling Connor Williams last year. Maybe he can have another a bounce back year. The biggest thing, like I said earlier, they're getting Travis Frederick back. That is huge. He's back. He's back mentally healthy, and that's just great to see. Just him being healthy, not just for football reasons. Of course, it's going to help the Cowboys, but just personal reasons. You know, it's going to be great to see him back physically and mentally. Getting Zach Martin back, do we have to really mention that? One of the best right guards in the NFL. Let's keep it a buck. Right tackle Laylon Collins, solid. So, I mean, this is one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. And like I said, man, they can just, you know, just give Zeke his new deal. I know it's complicated. I know they have to pay Dak soon. Dak is going into his contract year. Amari Cooper has to get his money, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You should have thought of this when you made the Amari Cooper deal, right? So, in my opinion, because you can't go into the season without Zeke, man. Without having Zeke on this team. I'm telling you right now, this is not a playoff team. And the reason why it's not a playoff team is because they're not going to be balanced on the offensive side. Now, if you re-sign Zeke, the sky's the limit, for real. But that's all for the offensive side, man. This is why I say, man, I like the offense if they sign Zeke. If Zeke is back, they clear out just get rid of all this situation, all this, all the drama around the Cowboys. If they can fix out what's going on with Zeke, give him his deal, or he just decides he wants to play, this offense can be one of the best offenses in the NFL if I'm keeping the buck. So I'm liking it. You just gotta get Zeke on the field, man. Point blank, period. All right, so on to the defensive side. And man, did the defense make jumps last year. That was the biggest point of the team last year. Because we know the previous years, the Dallas Cowboys defense has been known to struggle a bit, known to give up big plays, known to give up some points, right? But the defense turned it around, and man, you just got to shout out to the linebackers, man. The linebackers, they changed it all. They changed it all, man. Right? But you know how we start off. Before we speak about the linebackers and how they changed everything last season, we speak about the and my phone went off. It's my fault. But we're gonna speak about the defensive line, of course. Look, DeMarcus Lawrence. Dude is one of the best left defensive ends, or defensive ends, period, in the NFL, right? Did they put, if I might be wrong, but Did he give DeMarcus Lawrence the franchise tag? I think that's what happened. Damn, y'all got so many people to pay. Somebody's gonna be gone in the next few years. But anyway, while he's still on the team, man, DeMarcus Lawrence, one of the best left defensive ends in the NFL. Point blank, period. Now I think that he's dealing with injury right now. I don't think it's anything major, but he should be back ready by week 1. Yeah, we know what DeMarcus Lawrence is all about. The interior defense is solid, I guess. Antoine Woods is solid. Malik Collins is solid. Tyron Crawford is, pretty good, right? So, the interior defensive line is solid. I think that, like I said when I made the Jared McCoy video, I think that they should have really tried to went after him. But now, after seeing how many people they got to pay in these upcoming years, I could see why you're not trying to, bring in any other players that's going to command some top dollars. But I think this defensive line as a whole would be top notch if they would have brought in Jared McCoy, even Mike Daniels. He's an interior defensive lineman. Could have brought him in, but the cap space, man, the cap room can change everything, man. But the interior defensive line is solid, right? Now, the thing that I really did like from the offseason from the Cowboys is the trade that they made for Robert Quinn, man. Robert Quinn, in my opinion, is going to come in and make an immediate impact, man. Of course, last year he played for the Miami Dolphins. Really didn't get to see him that much on the Miami Dolphins because, they were the Miami Dolphins. Weren't really getting top coverage. Dealt with a few injuries, but I think he's going to come in. He's going to make an immediate impact, especially rushing after the passer, getting some pressures on the quarterback. And you still got Taco Charlton, who is a former first-round pick, so maybe he can come in and, live up to what a lot of people thought he was going to be coming out the draft. I think he's solid. We could see another jump from Taco Charlton. On to the linebacker position. I know that's what a lot of people want to hear about when it comes to the linebacker position. This is possibly, you know what? I got to save it for another video. But look, this is possibly the best linebacking core in the NFL. Landon Vander Esch, right? Vander Esch. He was a breakout rookie last year. Who saw that coming? He came out, played huge. You had Jalen Smith leading that middle linebacker position. Came in, filled the hole, and did what he did, man. And Jalen Smith, Vander Esch, they led the core. And of course, we can't forget about Sean Lee, man. Sean Lee is still on the team, man. And the fact that you don't hear about him as much is scary, right? That it's scary that Sean Lee is considered the third best linebacker on this team. Now, we know that deal is because of injuries. Of course, Sean Lee, he's just super injury prone, and that's pretty much been the story of his career. We know that he has the talent to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL because he's proven it year after year. But if they can possibly get a healthy Sean Lee going into this season, it's going to be insane because, we know what Sean Lee is about when he's healthy. And if you're telling me that you can possibly have Sean Lee, Vander Esch, and Jalen Smith on the field at the same time, there is no doubt about it. That is the best linebacking core that's in the NFL, possibly ever. Possibly ever. Besides the 85 Bears, can you really name me a better linebacking core than Sean Lee, Vander Esch, and Jalen Smith? Now, I know right now that Sean Lee is not currently a starter right now. Right now, they have Justin Leonard March as a starting sub linebacker. So, we'll see how that plays out. But we know what this linebacking core is, man. They just got to stay healthy, and they'll be leading this defense for real. On to the secondary, man. On to the secondary. We know about Byron Jones. Byron Jones is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Possibly a top 10 cornerback in the NFL. He made a name for himself I know a lot of people didn't like him at safety. Came in as a cornerback, solidified himself as the #1 corner on this team, point blank period, right? This is secondary as a whole. Besides that, is solid. Anthony Brown is a solid nickelback, right? I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. I'm going to say Uziwa. You Cowboys fans know what I'm talking about. Solid cornerback on the other side of Byron Jones. Now, the safety position, in my opinion, is kind of iffy, right? It's kind of iffy. Xavier Woods has shown Xavier Woods. Shout out to the New Day. Anyway. But anyway, man, Xavier Woods, he's shown that he can play ball, right? Jeff Heath, I know a lot of Cowboys fans, they personally do not like Jeff Heath, right? But he has awareness. He's been in the NFL for a little while now, so he has awareness to know where to be at. Now, would it be great if they could have landed at Earl Thomas? Yes. Would it have been great if they could have landed a Landon Collins? That would have been amazing. But we know what the cap situation is looking like for the Cowboys. Everything is tight right now, so they pretty much had to just work with what they had. Now I really think there's George. I don't know how to pronounce that. George Ikuka. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy who played for the Cincinnati Bengals for a while. Played for the Vikings for a bit. Also played for the Vikings, I think, for 1 year. I think he's gonna come in and might take the position away from Jeff Heath, if I'm being honest. I could see a lot of 3 safety formations where they have Xavier Woods, Jeff Heath, and I'm going to just say George Ikuwa. I know that's not how you pronounce his last name. But we could see some formations where they're all on the field at the same time. But like I said, man, as a secondary as a whole, man, I think that they're pretty solid when it comes to their secondary, man. I think they're really solid when it comes to their secondary. But I mean, look, when it comes to this team as a whole, you've seen a lot of familiar places. This is damn near the same team that they had out last season. I mean, I lost his name, man. Who's a defensive tackle? I know. Dang, I just had his name on the top of my head. Who's a defensive tackle who just got kicked out in the NFL or just quit the NFL because he wanted to smoke weed? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll probably remember the name once I upload this video. But I mean, he was coming into last season as a starting defensive tackle. He of course was injured for most of the season last year, so that really didn't play that big of a factor. Man, I hate when I forget names. But anyway, he was injured for most of the season, so I don't think that's going to play a big part of this team because they did pretty well without him, right? Cole Beasley is not there, but you got Randall Cobb. Jason Witten is back. So, I mean, we're seeing pretty much the same team, man. We really are. Just adding Travis Frederick, Jason Witten is back, and you add in Robert Quinn. So, I mean, if you're the Cowboys, you have to like where you're at. You have to. You have to. Also, you know what'd be a good thing? Is if Randy Gregory can still be on this team. That'll make this defensive line for real. Yeah, Cowboys fans, is he going to ever come back? I know that he's technically suspended right now. Is he going to be able to be back for this upcoming season? Because we know that a healthy Randy Gregory can get after the passing. So, you know, we'll see what's good with that. But, I mean, as this team as a whole, I like it, man. I like it as a whole, man. They're really balanced on both of the sides. I could really make a case this is one of the best defenses in the NFL, right? The secondary, besides Byron Jones, you could say it's a question mark. You could say that their interior defensive line is average, right? But, I mean, besides that, I mean, it's elite. The only thing I really have to say about the Cowboys is get Zeke on the field somehow. Whether that's paying him, whether that's convincing him, whether that's Jerry Jones crying to him, saying, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Get Zeke on this field because I mean, the sky's the limit if you guys have Zeke on the field. But I pretty much explained everything. By the way, this is a win or go home year for Jason Garrett, man. Personally, I think a lot of people really felt that Jason Garrett was gone last season, was going to be let go last season if he didn't make the playoffs. Well, he came in clutch. His team made the playoffs. I think this year is Super Bowl bust. I really think that, man, because, I mean, from top to bottom, this is possibly the best team that they had, even better than that 2016 team, if I'm being honest. Because this team has a defense. And they had team chemistry. This team is looking very similar to what it was last year, right? And I mean, look, this is America's team, right? I mean, that's what they're known for. You know what I'm saying? All the primetime games, right? They're pretty much the Los Angeles Lakers of the NFL, right? ESPN covers them. FS1 covers them. I mean, anybody. You can't watch football and escape the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see that star everywhere. So, hey, Cowboys Nation, how y'all feel? But it's time for me to rank this team, man. You know, last year, of course, they were a playoff team. Won a playoff game, made it to the divisional game. And I got to put them in tier 2, man. I think this is a really good team, you know. I think their offense is actually pretty good. I think underrated by most football fans. I think this defense is elite. And I like the experience on this team. This team has good chemistry, like I said. I think this team is hungry to win a Super Bowl. And I think they can get things done. But like I said, the X factor is signing Zeke, man. You have to sign Zeke. There's no way getting around it. You can't try to find a running back, try to get one of these no-name running backs on your team to make an impact. No, I can't get around that. Y'all got to sign Zeke. Point blank, period, man. But yeah, this is a tier 2 team, man. This is a tier 2 team. It's a really good team. It's a really good team. But that's all I really got to say, man. Cowboys Nation. You guys agree? Do you guys think that y'all a tier 1 team? Do you guys feel that y'all a tier 3 team? Do you guys feel that y'all the truth for real? That's all I really got to say, man. But if you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some gaming content in the near future, give this video a like. And if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you at it. I'm the phenomenal one, and I'm out. Deuces.